Corey Paul is a 17-year industry veteran. He's an educator, launching his own product line, and a salon owner. Last time, if you missed his previous interview, we got to know him, got to know a bit about his career, how he was able to achieve all these things, and a lot of really awesome information. So make sure you get back and check that out. Hello and welcome back to Hairdresser Strong Show. My name is Robert Hughes, and today we're talking with Corey Paul about his career and what it means to him to give back to the community and education, etc. So, Corey, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I can't complain. It's a nice
Nice,
day. Nice day. Beautiful day.
awesome, awesome. Well, last time we talked a lot a bit about like a lot of like your story and I got to pull some really valuable details out of you about like for anybody who's looking to you know have a similar or experience or learn from your experience and we you talk a lot about education and we had discussed previously about how you go into the schools and I really like to hear more about that. So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about that and maybe give a little like intro to anybody who didn't see your previous episode.
All right, cool. Well, Corey Paul, I'm gonna say 17 years in the business. Winston-Salem, North Carolina is where I'm located. Passionate about education, seeing stylists grow, and just I love the cosmetology industry. I love everything about it. But as far as the education standpoint goes, I love going to schools. I love seeing students get excited when I come into the school, and just about the information about the industry. Sometimes in school they get so condensed with just trying to pass the state board that they kind of lose sight of what to expect when they get out of school and how to build a business and what is it going to take, to be successful in the industry. So I love going and empowering the students, giving them a little bit about, my story, how I was able to get to where I am today, what that journey looked like, and just kind of mentoring a lot of students along the way.
That's amazing. I love that. So I visit schools as well, and I feel exactly the same way that you feel about like get in touch with them, and like you're right, they do get bombarded down with trying to pass the state board. And as a matter of fact, I just had a friend and colleague call me and say that they wanted to get into education and they wanted to go to the schools and they were asking me some interesting questions. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts were on this. They said, how do I like first question for you, do you do haircuts when you go? Do you do color? Do you do models, or you do more public, more motivational speaking, question and answer? Like what is your style like when you go?
So I work closely with the instructors and the directors of the school. So based off, where the students are. So if they're on a color chapter, then I go in and I'll either take a model or a mannequin and do a color. If they're in a cutting, so I just kind of work with the school to see where the students are and then go in and do that from a technical standpoint. Now, always, no matter whether I'm doing cutting, color, whatever it is, I'm always wanting to give them some motivation as well with it. So even if it's a
Gotcha.
cut, I try to, work in there how to be successful with cutting and building a business and building your brand. So I just try to work it all in there.
So this sounds like you're almost like a complement to the regular instruction. How often are you going?
I go about every 2 to 3 months.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So you're like a regular, a guest speaker, guest artist at the schools, and the students almost expect to see you kind of
Definitely.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice. That's a nice setup. I had that setup once, long time ago, like before Instagram was really big. And I was going to the different Paul Mitchell schools, and there's another school called Graham Webb here in the area. I would go once a month, and it was great, like being there on the regular basis. How long have you been doing that?
I would probably say I want to say since at least 2016.
Okay.
Uh, I got actually the manager of my salon. He was one of the students from like the first or second class that I went to at Empire.
Nice.
So it's definitely good to go and build relationships, whether it's with the instructors, directors. And so that's really how I was able to get my foot in the door, just building those core relationships with them. And of course, doing a great job when I went in there. But, that was a good way for me to keep coming back. And so
Nice.
once I did I probably say that first year, I maybe went twice.
Okay.
And from there, they asked me to get on um, their committee for the school. And so basically, you come in and give them input about different things that can change or things you would like to
Nice.
implement into um, their program. And so it just grew from there. So I remember last time we was talking about for stylists who are looking to open up a salon, definitely go and build those relationships with the schools in your area so they'll send you students.
That's
So
amazing. I love that.
yeah.
Um, so so not only are you able to like practice your passion for education, you're also giving back to the community. However, I got to have one question. Is this all volunteer work?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to make that. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so yeah, so you're volunteering, you're giving back to the community, you're helping out out the rising talent. You're also helping out the schools, which are a really important part of of the industry. They due to regulation, and this is my opinion, I'm throwing in there, of course, but due to regulations, they typically aren't able to teach them all the things that they need to teach. They need to get them to pass state boards. So we kind of really you're doing the service to the industry that can't be done without volunteers. It in a way, like maybe I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Definitely, definitely. So, and
Yeah.
go and they need it. Like the students need it, the schools need it. So definitely, if you had that passion about education, or even if you're thinking that's something that you want to get into, I would definitely say start out at a school first.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, so now I got another question. What have you noticed any difference in expectations, attitudes, or desires of the students from when you were first getting into it until now with like everything that's happened between now and then since then?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah, what kind of
Uh,
differences?
so I'll even say just from which I mean I've been in the industry for 17 years, but even just how it's transformed from when I was in school to where things are now. So they expect to when they get out of school, like you're gonna come in and you're walking into a full book every day, and it's just that's not the case. So and they expect, okay, well, I'm gonna get out of school, go into a suite, I'm gonna promote on social media, and I'm gonna fill up super quick. Which is again not the case. Like you
Right,
have to put in that footwork. You got to put in that groundwork to build up. Know how to rebook. Know how to even if you're posting on social media, what to say when you're posting on social media. If you put on social media, book me, but you don't have your booking link in there. You don't put
yeah,
hashtags of your city, where you're located, how people can get in touch with you. Then you drop the ball. And
right.
then that in turn, makes people not want to do hair anymore because they feel like, hey, it didn't work out for me, my business didn't grow, and you really just didn't have the guidance to grow. So again, for me and my journey, I kind of was able to link up with different people from the Advanced Academy or the people who work at JC Penney's to kind of help me grow. And so definitely for students, if you don't have that mentor, find you one. That's one thing you will definitely need
Hmm.
in the industry, whether it's a mentor on skill, business, whatever, definitely find you a mentor.
Nice. I love that. Thank you so much for that. So, you let me ask this. How do I ask this question? So, you would say it's funny you say that what you said, like the differences and the students' expectations and beliefs. I have noticed that as well, where there's a lot. Kind of want to skip the step of working at a salon, training, and building up. So, like and you mentioned something else that has come up in other conversations with other salon owners and educators is about the amount of people that leave the industry uh, that went to school is from what I understand, it's a pretty high percentage of people who don't make it past like the first few years, 3 to 5 years or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And you think that that has a lot to do with this, they don't want to put in that initial grind to build up. Would you say, like, you true? I mean, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of people, because you go so frequently, just kind of like disappear. I don't know, like, what is your experience and all that, or your perspective?
I would definitely say like not putting the grind in, but again, like they don't have that guidance to show them how. So literally, like all the students who have come to the salon, like I could say 9 out of 10 have been successful because I'm showing them from step by step from how to greet the client, how to do proper consultations, how to, give expectations of services and to rebook. You know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
I'm giving them all the tools that they need and helping them along the way, right?
Gotcha.
Versus where some students they get out of school and they go into salons that aren't a good fit for them. So even when I go to the schools, I'm like, don't just jump at the first salon that you go to, right? Go and visit
Right.
different salons. See what it's like on their slow days. See what it's like on their busy days. What's the
Yeah.
atmosphere listen like? Do they listen to rap music? Do they listen to jazz? Do they listen to country? Like, is that something that you'll be able to work in and have a growing working environment? You know, so like I
Yeah,
said,
that's
just kind
good.
of giving them got that guidance. The thing with I guess college versus cosmetology school is internships, right? We really don't have internships in our industry. So it's
Hmm.
important for you to go to a salon where education is present, it's important, and is one of the top things there. So for students, definitely, if you're looking for a salon, go to a salon that is education focused. That's pretty much going to be like your internship before jumping in on your own. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good. Yeah, for sure. Nice. Awesome. So there's another question I was thinking I was going to ask you. Oh, in your salon, um, are you running a booth rental or commission salon? How do you run your space?
So I have both. So
Okay.
I have a pretty large salon. So one side is commission based, the other side is booth rental based.
Okay.
So a lot of the stylists who have come in on commission, once they feel like they're ready to spread their wings out, then I offer them a space on the booth rental side. And so a
Nice.
lot of them they don't want to leave the salon. You know what I mean? So it's great to have that there to offer them. But I still treat everyone the same. So it's not like I give my commission side education, but I don't give my booth rental side education.
Right.
So I like to tell people I have a structured booth rental salon. So
Nice.
still wear all black when you come in. You still go through the receptionist and all those good things. So from a consumer standpoint, when they come in, they can't tell that one side is booth rent and the other side is commission based.
Right, right. Nice. I love that, by the way. I think that is makes more sense to me for the future of salons than most. Like, I mean, you have the old school one. I mean, I've only heard of the old school commission based structure, um with a couple of people that seems like it'll be able to adapt to like all these new stylists. So when you bring on a new stylist, and I feel like I'm going to get off subject here, so I just want to ask this real quick because I want to know for myself. And when you bring on these new young stylists and you train them and you build them, at how, like, do they say, "Hey, I want to be my own boss. I want to be my own booth renter. I want to make more money," or how does that, like, what is the mentality as well as the process to transfer them over away to becoming more of their own boss? And like, yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Cool. All right, that's a good question. So the first I'll say the first thing is you got to kind of take you out the equation. So as a salon owner, right? Most of the time when a stylist comes and says, "Hey, I'm ready to, like I said, make more money or go to boot print," the first thing most salon owners do, they kind of get uptight a little bit, right? And they're like, "Okay, this stylist is ready to leave," or blah blah blah. So I've been a stylist before, or I'm still a stylist, but I've been in that position before. So it's really just treating people how you want to be treated, right? So I know what that process was like. So instead of the owner just kicking you out and say, okay, well, if you want to do booth rent, go and do your own thing. I'm like, okay, hey, these are the first things you're going to want to get in order, right? So I said, okay, make sure you go and get your business name, get an EIN number, make sure you have a business checking account set up. So once they come back and say, hey, Corey, I got all these things set up, then we start going into the second phase, and I'm able to move them into either the booth rent or they go out and open their own space. But whether they're here being with me or out somewhere else, I still want them to be successful, right? Because
Nice.
if you win, I win, right?
Yeah.
And so that really helps build up the cosmetology industry versus saying, hey, well, if you want to be a booth renter or you want to be your own boss or you want to make your own money, just go and do your own thing. No, let me give you the steps, right? And so that
That's
way,
awesome.
when I give you the steps, then you're able to give the next person the steps. And so then you start making better hairdressers, right? And so you
Yeah.
don't have people going in there and you don't have the products or you don't have, all the tools that you need and you're not running your business the correct way. So I just keep it simple like that, man. Treat people how you want to be treated.
I love that. That's good. That's a good answer. I like that. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. All right. Well, I mean, I think this has been a pretty awesome conversation. I've really picked up some valuable things, and I'm sure our viewers and listeners have as well. Is there any last pieces that you want to share, whether it's about giving back or education or growing your business or how to treat your employees, anything like that?
Sure. So as far as growing your business, giving back, um, we do something here. We call it our annual back to school event. And so each year before school starts, we do free hairstyles. We get our clients to come in and donate, whether it's backpacks, school supplies, different things like that. So if you want to build your business, again, that's a great way to introduce people to your salon. And then it's also another great way to get stylists to come into your salon. So if you're not fully staffed, go out and find hairstylists who are in suites and say, hey, I'm hosting this event. I'd like for you to come and be a stylist. We feed the stylist. So just a great way to kind of give back to the community as well as build up stylists, as well as give you um, press or publicity for your salon space. So doing different things like that to really help the community is amazing, man. So I definitely say make sure that us as hairstylists, we kind of step out into our own communities. We travel thousands of miles to go to education, to hair shows and get all this education, but bring it back and really use it in your community. So
Mm,
I definitely say just be community based, man. If you want to grow and really make a difference, really step out and see what your community needs. There's so many hairstylists out here who can't afford education. So that's why even with the Patreon, I keep it at a low cost. It's $25 a month, right? So whether a student can afford that or a veteran hairstylist can afford that. Um, but yeah, just continue to learn, press through, and give back as much as you can.
nice. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, this is great. Well, I definitely look forward to having you on again in the future. Especially maybe down the road after you get your product relaunched, or maybe I don't know something. I'm sure we'll be in touch. But I love everything you're doing, and I think your whole career path, your whole perspective is we need more of that in the industry for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. And if you're listening on podcast, please give us a rating. 5 stars is preferable, and follow us. If you're watching on YouTube or Instagram, please click the subscribe button, follow, like, comment, help support the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. And we'll see you next time. And thanks again, Corey.
Thank you.